Good morning, everyone. It's 9 a.m. I know, gay people and an LGBTQ plus Kiki at 9 in the freaking morning. That's why I'm still in bed. Me, I'm FayWhat, and I'm gonna help you get your week started off right. We have lots of fun things to talk about. It's gonna be a great week.
Rainbows, gay boys, hashtag that girl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word is that girl, the girl of all our dreams. She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, hashtag that girl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton is that girl. Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
The FayWhat Show is America's first LGBTQ plus morning show, and we're live right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire Television, YouTube, and Facebook. I'm also on demand anytime you want. It's Monday, April 1st, 2024. April Fool's Day, right? Okay, let me see. Yeah, no, I got nothing on that. Happy April Fool's Day. So let's kiki about what's going on in the LGBTQ plus community. I have a sidekick joining me in bed for some awesome conversation. What did you think I was talking about? Our first segment is called Gay Boys Sleep Late. And this morning I'm joined by my gay guy pal, Jamal L. Starks. He's a model, a spiritualist, a wellness counselor. He's also part of Queer Yoga Club Miami. He's an HIV activist with Impulse Group and also sits on the Men of Color Advisory Board for Viv Healthcare. Let's not forget, he also walks as Sex Siren in the House of Gorgeous Gucci. You can find him on Instagram at porcelain with a 3. And good morning, Jamal. Welcome back to my bed, boo. How you doing, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Happy April 1st.
I know. April Fool's Day.
I know.
What can I fool you about today?
I mean, you can't tell me you're going to fool me and then fool me.
I'm just thinking.
I mean, you could have been like, I'll be there and then not show up. You could have totally done that shit to me and be like, oh, Jamal, I was like, April Fool.
April Fool. Girl, I'm on the beach in a bikini.
Speaking of the beach in your bikini, how was your birthday? Happy
amazing.
birthday from all of us here at the FayWhat Show.
Thank
Happy
you.
birthday.
Thank you.
How old are you?
39. 35.
No, seriously?
39. I thought you knew that.
I did not.
I thought you knew
I did not. You're way older than
You
the boy in bed specs that I called for. No. Coño, man, black don't crack. You look amazing.
We take care of it.
Yes. No, and you do, honey. You're very aware about working out, about what you put into your body, and I mean that in all facets,
facets.
you're that's important to you, and it shows, and 39 is not old. I didn't mean it that way at all.
It's older than I look.
Yes, by far.
Because I get treated like a usually it's fun. It's like
you get carded.
I get carded even when I do like grown up things. Mm-hmm. People are like, "Oh, look at him.
You're a baby."
Aww.
Yeah.
And then they see my ID. I was at the dentist the other day because I had my wisdom tooth pulled. The day after my fucking birthday.
Happy birthday. Uh-huh.
And she was telling me all these things of what I should do, blah, 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 blah. And so she leaves and she comes back. She was like, I'm sorry, you're what? And I was like, she was like, first of all, happy birthday.
Right.
Second of all,
you're what?
You're 39.
You're
She
what?
was like, I literally thought I was talking to my child.
Oh my God. Amazing. But what you do, you're doing it right, Jamal. You guys seen Saltburn, right? We should lick the bathwater from Jamal after he's done in there because he's doing something right.
Not Saltburn. That was the creepiest moment where he was like,
oh yeah. And you did that really well, right? Like you thought about
he's like,
listen, that's some crazy white people shit. Right? Just saying. But I can see somebody just like being so infatuated with you that they would do something like that. Would that freak you out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You answered that real quick.
I've had stalkers and weird shit happen, but it always freaks me out. I'm like,
yeah,
it's not that serious. I'm just me, boo.
I dated this girl that would steal my underwear. Like she just would steal my underwear.
Ask for
and
it.
I just see?
Ask for it.
See?
I'm
Right
gonna
there.
give it to you.
Consent. It's all about consent, baby. And then all of a sudden, I know you're walking around sniffing my underwear. I would have given you a prettier set. You know what I mean?
Right. Actually, you can take these. Bottle it up. Spray it around the room.
Auction that shit off, you know? All right. Well, we've got lots of fun things to talk about. Let's get to it. Cool? All right. First, get ready for a crossover event that's straight out of left field. Reneé Rapp, the Mean Girl sensation, recently dropped the bombshell on Instagram. She's chilling with Elmo on Sesame Street. Her post said, quote, "Mom, I was literally on Sesame Street," end quote, featuring the cutest clip of her snuggling up to Elmo, plus a throwback baby pic of her rocking Elmo booties. And the cherry on top, Elmo himself slid into the comments declaring them besties for life. We don't have a date with Reneé Rapp's Sesame Street episode yet, but we will definitely be watching out for it when it happens. What are we all talking about? Sesame Street has gotten super gay. I mean, no, I guess it always was
It's
gay.
always been pretty gay.
Yeah, Bert and Ernie.
Yeah.
I mean,
I knew they were. I thought when I was a kid, I was like, I just know. They're a couple.
But there was no malice with it.
No,
You
I just
understand?
was like, they cool, even though they were supposed to be roommates. But I was like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah, and you could always tell that like Bert was the top and Ernie was the bottom.
Yeah.
And when they were done with their due diligence, they went to their own
and Big
bed.
Bird was a hoe.
And Big Bird was the whole of Sesame Street.
That's why he was so happy every
That's why he
day.
was so freaking happy. He was just happy
Like,
as hell because he had a lot of money in his feathers. So that's
Come
why
on,
he was super
guys.
happy.
Be fucking happy.
So Reneé Rapp, she did Mean Girls. You know, I'm
the remake, right?
the remake. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
Okay.
Because I don't want to ruin. Mean Girls is like one of those.
You can't sit with us. Like, I just love the original. You know what I mean? So it kills
it's
me
gonna rain outside.
to.
Like it's just classic.
No, it's just But yeah, so I haven't seen the new reboot. I think I will do it, right? Just because.
Yeah.
But I don't want it to mess up what I think about the first one. And the first one was just so perfect that
was.
I can't imagine doing a new one. But that being said, I do appreciate that Reneé Rapp is in the new one and she's part of the LGBTQ plus community and doesn't shy away from that,
it,
you know?
right.
So for her to be on Sesame Street, like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, as marginalized folks, we're afraid of stuff like that. Like, we don't expect to see ourselves on Sesame Street.
Right.
You know, with all these LGBTQ plus, youth bands and all this stuff like that we're afraid of certain things like
and bills.
like
and,
Sesame Street,
yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
So-
But I'm happy that it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, we're in the
Yeah.
future now. Like, we are the future and we're in the future. So I'm getting comfortable with people just have to get on board and get with it.
I mean, be on the right side of history, folks. I mean, come on. What year is it? It's
I mean, be on the
2021.
fabulous side of history.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
come on now.
Yeah.
Have you seen all of the people who are against LGBTQ?
Yeah. Most
they
of them
look-
can't dress.
No, and they look horrible.
Yeah. And they look sad.
They look sad.
And they also look like they don't have sex.
That's what I always have said. I've said that
Have
for
you really
years.
said that?
When I used to go to work, when I worked in corporate, I had a big old corporate job for 16 years. When I used to work in corporate, the saddest people, I was like, y'all didn't fuck last night. did
That's
you?
it. That's it. Or this week, or maybe this
week,
month.
or this month.
Which is
And they were
why you're
married.
like
That was the problem.
Yeah,
I
you're
was like,
backed up. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and again, self-love is not a bad thing either.
No.
Like, come on, folks. That's why
Radical
you hate us so
self-care,
much.
Radical
You know,
self-love.
like
radical,
we're open about that. Like
Yeah.
we're like, yo, I need sex. I mean, like literally, I'll be like, listen, I had a bad week. I know
I
that
really
our
do.
usual,
Like,
our
yes,
usual twice a week is not working this week because I've had the week of fucking hell.
But I need
it.
It's
And we're-
okay.
And we're okay to talk about that.
Yeah.
I think the people that don't want us to exist anymore have drastic issues with just
Yeah.
talking about sex. That's why it's always those weird white people that are like undercover with child porn shit
Yeah.
and stuff like that because
Yeah.
they're not open and allowed to be themselves.
Yeah.
Even especially church people. Don't get mad at me, all religious folks. But I mean,
And but you're a church person too.
but
so,
I am. But
yeah.
I am. But there are people in church community that don't consider Unity on the Bay a church because we are non-denominational and we let everyone come in. I remember being a kid and seeing at the front of churches, all are welcomed, and thinking that shit was true. And then walking in and being really
Realizing-
mistaken,
Not you.
No,
Or
except
you,
you,
or
or
you.
you. Or you.
Especially
Especially you.
ass.
You're gay ass, queer ass. Go right back out. Wow. Next, another queer gorgeous person, Ricky Martin.
Ooh.
Ricky Martin has spilled the tea on his journey to creative fulfillment post-divorce. In an interview with Harper's Bazaar, he got real about the highs and lows of life. Despite tough times, Ricky wants more from his life, and he is using it all as fuel for his creative fire. Ricky sees himself performing till he's 90. He said, quote, "I think I'm gonna die in front of the camera or on stage," end quote. Recently, Ricky Martin finished his trilogy tour alongside Enrique Iglesias and Pitbull. Now he's making waves in retro Speedos on the Apple TV series Palm Royale. What are we all talking about? I have it on my queue to watch. Palm Royale just started, I think, on Tuesday. I think it's about a resort. Ricky Martin is on it.
Apple
TV.
Apple TV?
Yes.
Okay.
Who else is in it? Carol Burnett is on it. Like, she's like 100.
Carol Burnett.
She's like 100 and she's still doing her thing. She's still doing her thing, you know? Yeah. Ricky Martin needs to make a comeback.
Ricky Martin needs to come.
Yes.
Y'all know where I was going with that?
You know where he was going with that.
But it could be on my bucket list again.
Oh, because he was off the list when he was married?
John married.
Oh, that don't matter?
That takes it off for me.
Okay.
It ruins it.
Okay.
It ruins it. Unless both of them are open to it.
Got it.
It kind of ruins it for me.
Got it.
But now,
that's
I'll still
off the
take
table.
both of them.
Oh, for
individually,
sure.
together.
His ex-husband is gorgeous too. I would totally watch them have sex.
I would watch.
You know?
I could just record.
I could just film it.
I would just, or I could just be a nice, quiet observer in the corner.
Completely. And just take all those memories from me.
Yeah.
I'll be okay with that. I won't even tell anybody.
No.
I'm okay with that.
I don't need to.
Shit. I remember Ricky Martin on stage on Broadway in Les Mis. Like, he's such a talented individual.
Yeah.
And beautiful to look at, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely going to be watching Palm Royale. You know, hopefully he'll be like a breakout star and then maybe end up like on White Lotus next time or something.
Oh, White Lotus. That'd be so dope.
Right? I love White Lotus.
With me as his lover.
Oh, yes.
Oh, let's put that in the atmosphere.
Ooh, let's manifest that.
I should.
You do know that Jamal's a witch, right? He's got like another term for it, but I call him a witch, right? A live one, because he will say some shit and that shit will come true and I will be freaked the F out.
That would be so dope if y'all look at y'all and be like, yo, that's Jamal on White Lotus.
He made
and
that
Ricky
happen.
Martin is like, my boo thing.
Your boo. He's just your boo. I'm just saying. All right, watch it. Put it on your queue to watch, all right? Next, grab your popcorn to enjoy the 12th Annual Queerties Awards, streaming now on WOW Presents Plus, hosted by the fabulous Jinx Monsoon. This star-studded event honored the best of LGBTQ plus entertainment and pop culture like Rosie O'Donnell, groundbreaking talent like Trace Lysette, and staunch allies like Paula Abdul. From iconic speeches to jaw-dropping winners, it's a night you won't forget. Plus, we've got performances from Bronze Avery and a special tribute to Paula Abdul by David Archuleta. Watch this.
Welcome to the 12th Annual Queerties with your host, Jinx Monsoon, and special honorees Paula Abdul, Trace Lysette, and Rosie O'Donnell.
Happy Queerties!
Happy Queerties!
Happy Queerties! Happy Queerties, Raja. How are you?
I am so good. I'm elated to be here.
It's truly so cool seeing my name in a category with some of my favorite artists of all time.
I think our community is amazing because we really know how to celebrate each other and lift each other up.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see who is going to win these incredible awards. I've been voting every day.
Who are you most excited to see tonight?
Oh my God, David Archuleta.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell, I forgot to say Rosie O'Donnell first.
Tears.
She and my mom have the same birthday.
I am excited to see Paula. She's receiving the Straight Up Ally Award. To now be out and to know that she's so supportive of the queer community is really beautiful.
Queerty Awards and the queer community. What are we all talking about? You know, like everybody that was in that clip. You were like, oh wait, that's my boo. Oh wait, you know who that is, Faye? That's my friend from there. I'm like, oh shit, like damn.
I mean, you do remember that Trinity Bonet is my ex.
Yes.
The Drag Race stars, like, I mean, Trinity's my ex, so of course. And then
and her friends are other stars, or other Drag Race stars. So I mean, they were around just like our friends are around now. So these people, like, I love that Queerty is spotlighting,
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus folks like this, you know?
Yeah, because we do need, we do. We need stuff to empower and show us in the light as well, instead of constantly chasing mainstream shit,
Yeah.
Like, this is good for us.
Yeah, because we go the Grammys, the Oscars, right? Any one of those awards show, and we're like, where was the queer in this? Or where was the black and brown in this, right? Like, that's why it's like, this is important.
This is important.
This is important.
Very important to recognize our own. Like my overall mother, Trace Lissette.
Oh, she looks amazing.
Yes, she is the overall mother of House of Gorgeous Gucci.
Where does she live?
LA. Yeah.
So when you visit, you stay her?
No.
You're like, I don't want to. I get a hotel. I'm good. I see mom. I do what she needs me to do, and then I continue with my day.
No, I travel alone. I'm a popular loner.
Yeah.
I think I had this conversation this week with someone. I was like, they were like, Jamal, you're always surrounded by people. And I'm like, it's not by choice. Like, I walk in and here they come.
Yeah. So your quiet time is important to you.
It's so important.
Listen, there is nothing wrong with traveling alone. And honestly, you find out a lot about yourself during that time, Something that somebody had told me, it could have even been your ass that told me, but like, take yourself out on a date, like if you're always constantly surrounded by people, take some time to just do something with just you. You know what I mean? Take yourself out on a date, take yourself to the movies. Some people are literally afraid to go places by themselves. And, you can be your best company sometimes.
Yeah. And actually, I go on little adventures with myself. Like, I challenge myself, to get a little uncomfortable and do some things that I wouldn't normally do.
Okay. Like what? Go to Ramrod? Go to the Eagle during what? Go to Pig Dance?
All of that stuff.
Go to Girls in Wonderland? What? What would you go?
I've done that before. I've done those things, I do have an ex-circuit life. I have a lot of lives. Lives.
But you fulfill those lives. That's what makes it so great. I think that's why you're so in tune with yourself, with your body, with your life, because you've lived.
Interesting, yeah.
I love when I love when I regurgitate the shit he tells me, right? Which is hysterical, right? Because I literally just take what he tells me sometimes and just give it back to him in like a different version. And he's like, wow, I never thought of it that way. Bitch, you told me that.
But that's how, you know what? That's how I connect with most of my friends. They'll be like, Jamal, you said that. And I'm like, oh, bitch, I was really on one.
Yeah.
I was really on one.
And by on one, I mean connected to spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, don't be thinking crazy shit. All right. Anyway, last thing about Queerty, I love that David Archuleta is like out and in full force.
He's
I
so
was
cute.
so blessed to host Rock the Block, where he was the main headliner. And he did a 70-minute set, Jay. He did a whole concert right there on Wilton. He's full voice, dancers and everything. Like the whole entire thing, said a story about his coming out, talked about his dad. I was crying. Anyway, love David Archuleta. I love that he's out there more.
You just want to carry around with you.
I do, because like he's got like this wonderful energy to him, right? That I would feel that like I would take him out of my pocket when I had to deal with like certain fuckers, right? And I would just like okay, I'll put you back in. I can continue.
Conjure David.
Yeah. Something like that.
David.
I love that.
David, what would you do? What would you do, David?
What would you do, David? What would you do, David Archuleta? David Archuleta. What would you do? Okay. All right. Do another. Okay. He loves to do these selfies, right? Where he does like this and like he'll be wearing like sweatpants with like no underwear. And I'm like, I'm a lesbian. I know I'm not the only one who notices this. I know he's doing this shit on purpose. I love you even more.
We know the gays. We know the lightings, the angles, the everything. David, you can send one to me personally.
There you go.
Everything.
DMs. Okay. At Porcelain with a 3.
Yeah.
Next, it's time for the latest tea on Shangela. I kind of hate this story, but we had to tell it, all right? So Shangela, a.k.a. Darius Jeremy, DJ Pierce. Shangela's been soaring high with gigs in TV and film and even co-hosting We're Here. She's actually going to come down the street to Dania Beach here in South Florida coming up. But there's some serious drama brewing. Reports have been swirling since 2023 about Pierce's alleged predatory behavior, and now Rolling Stone is spilling all the deets. In a recent expose, they've uncovered disturbing allegations from 5 sources claiming that Shangela sexually assaulted them or tried to. The victims shared chilling, similar stories, and they're speaking out despite fears of backlash from anti-drag agendas. Looks like the drama's far from over and just begun. What are we all talking about? I know!
I have been afraid of this conversation and this story since I read it.
Yeah, since the rumor mill started, because people have been talking about this for a while, you know?
But lately, it has really garnered a lot of
attention,
substantial backing. Yeah,
like fucking Rolling Stones.
Yeah,
like Rolling Stones is not.
That's scary, and I'm just like, people, we really have to do better, honestly, when it comes down to, because, you know, we get into these positions, and as we ascend with positions and titles and things of that nature, we get a little, sometimes, you know, careless, and that's where
comfortable
with certain things, and you have to remember your boundaries, people. Like,
listen, and you know, you have certain people around you that are yes people, right? They're people that make you feel good, that tell you that your shit don't stink, all that kind of fun stuff, right? And they reinforce your bad behavior. They're not doing you any good. And those people still have their own mouths and their own breathing that they're gonna tell your freaking story to somebody else.
Yeah.
And turn their back on you.
Yeah.
Because that's how people are.
You have to be very careful, especially in our community.
Especially in our community. But then
we don't. You know how our community gets down.
Okay, but that's why that line is so blurred, Jamal. Do you understand? Like, you know, you go out. Boys are sexually assaulted every day, and they just continue with their day like nothing happened, and they'll be like.
This is why boundaries are important and awareness is important, even when you go inside. Like, when I go out to certain events and things, I am always aware, and I'm always keeping up my boundaries, and I'm always like, this is not going to happen like this. It's just important to have that intentionality when you step out, and on both sides.
Yeah, no, and it's uncomfortable to talk about. You know?
But it needs to be.
But it needs to be uncomfortable. And it's a conversation that needs to be had. You know, I love Lizzo, right? And when all the stuff came out about her, I'm like, you know, again, totally different, not in our community, blah, blah.
Her lines were completely. She stepped over the line of employer-employee relationship. Like, girl, if I employed you, I am not going out to a sex club with you or strippers and touching and drinking. No!
Yeah,
we are not friends like that.
We're not friends like that.
No, I'm paying you to do a certain, after that, that's it. That is it.
Look, you know, we both know.
No. That's where the boundaries need to come in.
We both know plenty of performers, dancers, backup dancers. Okay, plenty that do amazing things and work behind amazing drag queens and stars and stuff like that, and then the person will get too comfortable. Maybe that's what happened with Shangela. You know, they got too comfortable and they crossed the line, and it's just fucking sad because, like, I really like her.
Everybody
you know, as a
does.
Personality, as a drag queen,
but I don't like the bad behavior. I'm sorry.
No,
I do not like this bad behavior.
And it has 5 people.
5. That's a lot.
And that means that there's
more.
One
is too many.
One is too many. And if you have 5 with collaborating stories, kid, like it's. Yeah.
And from a person who is also a thriver of sexual assault, I
Yeah, I know.
No, this is not good news.
I know, it's not good news.
And she's coming here to perform.
She is, Dania Beach. She's at the Improv. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll keep tuned with this story and find out what else happens. I mean, you know,
I pray for the best, but I also pray for accountability because I stand on accountability as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, accountability is important. That next person might not be assaulted because of that, you know? And it's too prevalent with you boys, Jamal. It's way too prevalent. And it's understood. Boys cross the line with each other all the time.
Because we have to remember that, you know, gay men, no matter with all the drag and the effeminate and the da-da-da, we're still men at the end of the day. We are still men. When it comes down to it, I had to remind one of my friends that at the beach the other day, she was like, you guys just have, and I was like, you have to remember, we're still men.
Yeah.
like at the end of the day, we are still men. We still operate in a very primal state sometimes.
Carnal kind of way.
Carnal energy. So, you know, and you have to keep that energy in check sometimes. Well, no, a lot of times, because I know it ain't easy.
Yeah. Do you remember when the Me Too movement came out and everybody really started talking about, Jeffrey Epstein and all these crazy, horrible men in Hollywood and Cosby and all this kind of crazy shit? I see that happening in our community. Not now. Not for a while. But there will be a moment where the wrong person will be sexually assaulted and they'll be out and proud and they'll be like, that's it. You know, Me Too gay or gay Me Too or something. It's going to happen. Yeah. Because you don't deserve that either. No. I know young kids, that drink a little bit too much, are around older people, right? They're 21 and over, but things happen and then they don't know how to come back from that. And those older people continue with their lives like nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we'll keep on the story. I don't even know. I mean, again, Shangela is one of our favorites. I hope that it's all not true, but if it is, like Jamal said, accountability needs to happen. Finally, gather around, darlings, because we've got some holy hotness heating up Instagram. Meet Father Ethan Alexander Jewett, a.k.a. @Jacked Priest, the tattooed, gym-loving Episcopal pastor from Pennsylvania who's making waves with his Insta posts. The Episcopal Church believes in progressiveness and acceptance. They even made history by promoting openly gay priests like Bishop Gene Robinson back in 2003. But Father Ethan is taking it to a whole new level by living his truth, even if it means stirring up a little controversy along the way. Jewett, who's 52, hails from Tampa, Florida. Watch this.
Oh God, I fancy a priest.
And if you ever want to talk about stuff, I'm here.
Jacked up and tatted priests. Is that what our future looks like? I love it. What are we all talking about? What do you think?
I love it. I do. I'm coming to church. I ain't been to church in a long time.
But this would bring me back.
But I'll come to church.
Right? Oh my God.
Come to church, Father Ethan. I'll even say a few prayers.
On my knees.
I might even sing.
I might even
I'll sing a gospel number. This is a Baptist grown child here. So, I can bring a little,
Oh my God, I love this.
A melody from
Yes,
heaven.
me, bitch. Listen, but he's a hottie. And like, what
52?
He looks amazing.
52.
He looks
which
amazing.
means he is really taking care of himself.
He really is taking care of himself.
Yeah,
and
beautiful. And he's in Tampa?
And he's right
he's
right up the street, kid. He's right up the street.
My sister lives in Tampa. I think I need to
All right, we're going to go visit your sis.
Yeah.
This is a great way to get new people coming into church,
Yeah.
Church is one of those things. I mean, we're on a church campus right now, right? Sunshine Cathedral is my queer church, and I love Sunshine Cathedral. Unity on the Bay is my church in Miami, right? And it's also non-denominational. Mm-hmm. And you'd be surprised how many gay people don't know that there are churches that welcome us.
Yeah, there is a lot. There's Vision in Atlanta, which is a huge church. Yep. There's a lot of, actually, oh God, what's his name? John from Unity on the Bay.
John Felice.
Yes.
Hi, John. We love you, John. I love him.
What is that? It's LGBT spirituality, I think, where he's like getting the word out.
Yes.
That church is open for religion is not getting rid of the gatekeepers, the little hetero gatekeepers, and opening up the lanes for us to worship however you want.
However we want to. And
this is beautiful representation. This will bring everybody. My grandmama would go see Father Ethan.
Right?
Okay.
I went to Rome 2 years ago, right? And they had a calendar in Rome, right? They had the hot priest calendars.
Oh.
And they'd sell it at every kiosk. And there were 12 gorgeous priests, one hotter than the next. And I'm thinking that they had to be Catholic, right? Because
it's Rome.
We were
You're
Rome,
in Rome.
kid,
Do what the Romans do.
But I mean, if they were okay with that, why not be okay with this? We live in a different world now, And to all you religious folks, if there's hate in your heart, that's not religion. Okay?
Exactly.
Let's start there. If you say, I hate those kind of people, then you can't call yourself a practicing true religious person because...
Or even if it makes you feel too uncomfortable, you need to question yourself, like, what is it about that?
That makes me feel this way.
Right. A hot-ass priest like that.
No.
It's time. It's 2024. We need to just start pushing and moving forward, regardless of what the naysayers say, and just do our own thing. This is. I'm here for this.
I love this. I think
I'm here for this.
Listen, I think on the way to Gay Days, we should in June. I should stop and see this father guy in Tampa. It's somewhere around there, right? That's close.
And interview him.
And interview him.
Actually, you should invite
topless.
him. Invite him. He needs to be.
I think he should come on here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, that's true. He
You
should
think
be
he'd be You think he'd be topless?
Yeah.
I think he'd do it.
It's a church. We're on church grounds.
We are
too.
on church, right? It could just be like an expedition. He's exploring.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. All right.
Oh,
look, he's a cutie.
Again.
Yes, Mr. Ethan. Yes,
Thank
I'll
you,
learn the
Steve.
rosary with you. The FayWhat Show is part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus media companies in America, and Hotspots Magazine has been documenting the LGBTQ plus experience for 40 years. And Happening Out Television Network has been bringing you daily LGBTQ plus news, talk shows, and more for 4 years. In the same model of PBS and NPR, we're a nonprofit 501c3 organization whose mission is to educate and serve the LGBTQ plus community. Next at the FayWhat Show, we need to help my gay boys, okay? You know that gay boys are near and dear to my heart, right? And in our segment, Dear Faye, I provide my expert lesbian knowledge and my vast experience as a living, breathing gay boy in a lesbian's body to help my fellow gay boys. And this week, I have the incredible Jamal with me that's gonna help me help this kid, all right? So this week, a bothered bestie in Broward sent us an email. Dear FayWhat and sexy boy in bed, help! I have a yucky feeling about the new man in my best friend's life. They met on the apps, okay? No shame with that. And within a month, they were calling each other their boyfriend and telling each other, I love you. 3 months later, they have commitment rings and are talking about moving in together. It's insane. The guy just gives me such bad vibes. He was previously married but divorced his husband about 2 years ago. Since then, he's been living with his sister rent-free. He works random part-time jobs but never seems to have any money, so my friend always pays for everything. On top of that, he seems to have this weird hold over him. He never lets him do anything alone, and they always have to be together. I really want to pull my friend aside and tell him I'm worried about this relationship, but his boyfriend makes it impossible because he's always around and always hovering. Plus, I don't know if my friend is really in a space where he'd be open to hearing what I have to say. It's like he's under a freaking spell or something. This guy is bad news. What should I do? Signed, Bestie in Broward. All right, I want to hear what you're going to say, and then I'll answer what I think.
Oh, I like the sexy boy in bed, so I have to... just for you, whoever it is.
I love it.
Okay, so between us, because we're elder gays now.
Mm-hmm. We're the OG gays.
We're the OGs.
How'd that happen?
I've been through this before.
Have you? I was just about to ask you if that's happened to you.
Yeah, I've been through this before with
one of your friends?
A few of my best friends.
Okay.
That, I really didn't care for the person that they were dating or they had met. Okay, so what I learned from this experience, okay, so one, it was me and another best friend, and we were just, I don't like him. What should we do? The other best friend wanted to break them up. And you know me, at the time, I was just getting into my spiritual journey. And so I was like, I believe we have to allow him to experience this without interference. And that was the answer. We had to allow our friend, because we tried to pull him to the side. We tried to have side conversations, and he was not hearing it. He couldn't hear it. And we were like...
Because of the love spell? Because of the sex? Because of all of it?
He was under a spell. Okay. And that's what we said. He was changing his clothing. He was spending money. Everything about him that we loved went away. And he turned into the influence. It was just like... he was just under this spell. And I was like, well, it's either we're going to support him through this and be there on the other side of this when we know it's
going to fall apart because it's going to.
Or we can talk to him and have a conversation, see if he's open to receiving it. And if he's not open to receiving it, there's nothing you can do.
Ouch. You gotta kind of like wash your hands and wait for the other shoe to fall, basically, you're saying.
Yeah.
And that's tough because you care about your friend and you don't want them to go through this, you know? And there's a saying in Spanish that I can't even remember how you say it, but it's basically like you get in between a couple, you're going to end up alone. You're going to end up without your friend and without maybe other friends that will hear that you meddle in people's relationships.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but what happens when this person fucking helped you through something or they're your best friend and you don't want to see them go through this shit, you know?
My friend, I went through the same thing. It was like a mirror because I had went through the same thing. And I asked the question he asked me after the relationship. He was like, why you didn't say anything? And I said, I did.
Ooh.
You couldn't hear it.
He couldn't even remember it. He probably was so
like,
glazed over with it.
And he said, oh my God. And he said, and I would have been mad at you and we wouldn't have been friends.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's tough. And I bet you I bet you folks have encountered this too. So this is my answer to Bestie here, right? Very, very on the same kind of line of what Jamal is saying. You know, it's always difficult when a best friend starts to get serious with a new romantic partner. You know, there's bound to be a shift in your dynamic and it can feel painful to lose the friendship as you're used to it, right? That being said, it's even harder when you're uncomfortable with the new guy that they're seeing. I have been there. Jamal has been there. Trust me. And it says a lot that you're feeling worried because it means you truly care about your bestie. You really love him. And a lot of times, if we get an icky feeling, it's our intuition raising red flags. So I don't fault you for wanting to do something. Some people fall hard and fast into a relationship. You'd think they were lesbians, right? Because it can feel like a high. And sometimes, you know, gay boys get in it, you know? The danger, however, is that this feeling may blind them from seeing potential warning signs or big red flags. As for Mr. Bad News, a lot of people have reasons for getting a divorce and even have financial struggles during hard times. What worries me more is the controlling nature that you're seeing. If this new man doesn't allow him to see his other friends or do things alone, that's crazy and a bit psycho, if you ask me. You know, control is a form of emotional abuse. Remember that. And that kind of shit is toxic in any relationship. Now, here's the tough part. In these types of situations, there's only so much that you can do. As an adult, it's up to your friend to decide what's best for him. Until he sees more or feels that he deserves better, he may not want to be without his new boo. That's just it. That doesn't mean that you have to sit back and watch the house fucking burn down in silence either. Even if opportunities are rare, take a moment when you can to talk to your friend alone, because even after all that shit passes, you'll be able to tell him, like Jamal did, I told you this, bitch, and you didn't listen. So tell him, but don't get between them. And, you don't want to end up without a friend also. All right? So, folks, if you need good advice from this lesbian and a very handsome, sexy gay boy, send me an email to FayWhat001@gmail.com, and maybe we will make your email our next segment and help others in our community as well. So, Jamal, thank you so much for helping me with that.
Yeah.
Again, now you're old age. Now I know you've been through everything.
I've been through a bunch of shit.
But this is stuff okay, Jamal at 21, Jamal at 39 is two completely different people.
Oh, baby.
And you put yourself in ridiculous situations that when you're almost 40, you're like, I ain't got time for that shit.
I have effed around and found out. I have effed around and found out in life.
Yeah. It happens.
Yeah.
It happens. Anything fun that you're doing this week? April, beginning of April, we're here. What's up?
So I will be having a workshop at the University of Miami.
Love it.
Doing my sound bowls and a yoga flow for, I think it's their LGBTQ leadership.
Oh, I love it.
Program. It's called the Love Program. So yeah, I'll be doing that.
I love that. Your sound bowls are incredible. Folks, if you've never heard a sound bowl, look it up, okay? I have one on my YouTube and it's Jamal with the sound bowl in my backyard, right? So look it up. The sound is healing.
It's healing. It's so
powerful.
Yeah.
There's no way to describe it. Those bowls are freaking expensive too. I was like, so Jamal, he has 5 bowls, right? And he brings 3 to my house and he's like, and I'm like, oh, I want to get one of those bowls. All right. So when he leaves, I freaking look on Amazon, right? They didn't have it. They didn't have it on Amazon. So then I look on eBay, right? And they had one for like $400.
$400 for the set. For the set. But you can get one single one.
It was used. It was a used set. It was $400. And I was like,
I got blessed at the end of last year, so I was like, I have to get my sound bowls. Yeah, I got blessed. Yeah.
So incredible. And I love UM, and I love what they do also with their LGBTQ plus groups and everything out there. So you're a wonderful addition to it. I love it. And I will see you soon. I'll see you in a couple weeks.
And also the ball. April 13th during Pride. Yes, come out and have a ball at the set.
Oh, I love that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah. So make sure that you follow Jamal on all social media outlets to find out what's going on.
Miami.
And Impulse Group
I'm
Miami.
president now.
Ooh,
I
press.
forgot. Yeah, I'm
Hey,
president.
Obama.
I'm president.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's recent.
No, but I got to change that. I'm president, Impulse Group. That's amazing. How many chapters of Impulse are there?
A lot around the world. London, Cape Town, India, Bangkok.
Oh, amazing.
There's a bunch here in the United States, Mexico.
'Cause I remember last year you went to like a conference or something with other folks that were...
It was our international conference. So they brought everybody in from everywhere. Atlanta, and this year we're doing DC because we're going to do political activation because of the election
year, of course.
And it'll be everyone from the United States, London, and I think they're bringing in Cape Town, and then we have our Latin America. They're having their own, Mexico and Peru and is it Santiago? I think. I forget. It's so many.
But that's amazing. And now you're prez. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right. I love you, Jamal. Thank you for being in bed with me. Mwah. I adore you. I will see you soon. He's so damn hot. I love me some Jamal. You know that there's times at night where I'm like, what should I dream about? I want to dream about something positive and fun and something that smells delicious and looks delicious. And I go, let me think and dream about Jamal. And that's it. Then my night, I can't tell you, that slumber is amazing. Try it. Just saying.
I'm screaming in the background.
Did you know that the Happening Out Television Network studios are located at Sunshine Cathedral Square, which also houses Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church located in Fort Lauderdale? We broadcast their Sunday service every week at 10:30 a.m. FayWhat Show, we bring you interesting interviews with incredible, amazing people like reality star and Squid Game, The Challenge, right? Third runner-up, hometown local boy, Sam Lantz. Watch this. I'm super excited about my next guest. Today, we're thrilled to welcome Sam Lantz to my bed. He's a finalist from Netflix's Squid Game, The Challenge. You saw it. Come on. Hailing from the quaint town of Kuna, Idaho, Sam's journey has been nothing short of remarkable. From his artistic endeavors to finding love in the digital age, Sam brings a unique perspective to the table. He's passionate, and he's also passionate about interior design, fashion, and advocacy for the LGBTQ plus community. He loves to go on adventures with his husband, Doug, who I just met and is such a cutie, and their two adopted dogs, Duke and Moo.
Moo.
Moo!
It's the perfect name.
Right? It's going to be an incredible interview with Sam. Welcome, Sam, to the FayWhat Show. Woo. Sam, how
Crowd
are
goes
you?
wild.
All right, dude, see, you get it. Every time somebody gets in bed, I do that. Because I'm manifesting a future audience, you know, right? Of the crowd going wild.
Right. The crowd in your bedroom going wild.
Right? Okay, I didn't think that through, though, about them being in my bedroom, right? I mean, that's some OnlyFans shit right there, you know?
That is.
Thank you for being in bed with me today,
Yes.
honey. So Sam is player 16 in Squid Game, The Challenge, right? Did you watch the original Squid Game before you went on the show? Was that like something you had to do?
I did. We didn't have to do it. Like Phil, my co-finalist, hadn't even seen the show until he was cast.
Okay.
So I was personally a huge fan of the show. I watched it a couple of times before I ever even applied for the show.
Before it was even like a thought in your mind.
Right.
Okay.
Which I think helped prepare me because I knew it was going to be very hard.
Yeah.
I knew like there was not going to be, it wasn't going to be a cushy. It wasn't going to be this.
Yes.
We weren't just
it
going to be
wasn't gonna
sitting
be
in
cushy,
bed
right? With our dog
with our
chilling out.
dog chilling. So I knew it was going to be hard, and I was ready for it. I was excited for it.
Okay, so how long were you actually there?
From start to finish, 17 days. So
Okay.
I left kind of about a half a day before the official end of shooting because, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, which you already saw it.
Yeah,
Sam
you
didn't
better
win.
have already seen it.
Sam didn't win.
Didn't win.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, so I had about a half a day cut off of, but I was still there.
Okay, but that's still 16 days that you were there,
Yeah.
right? So my wife and I were like, you know, you don't go outside. You have no clocks, right?
No
They tell you lights out, and they can actually tell you lights out for 4 hours, and you have no freaking idea if it's been 4 hours or 15 hours,
Right.
you know? Could you sleep?
Actually, yeah. I practiced kind of meditation and breathing exercises before I went in. So in order to calm my brain, because we were always thinking, what's going to happen next? Who's going to get eliminated?
Anxiety, right?
Yeah, like you're always thinking, like you lay in bed and you're like, oh my gosh, this thing I did when I was 5 years old. And so we were laying in there going, oh my gosh, I talked to this person earlier. Now they hate me and now they're going to vote me off. Or so I was able to just kind of focus on the, you know, in 2, 3, 4, out 2, 3, 4, and that kind of shut everything else out of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I was able to sleep. But I know a lot of people had a very difficult time sleeping there.
But I don't think I would have been able to sleep either. And again, like that thought process of, you know, at night, right? Like at night, like I don't know about you folks, but at night I'm like, oh, I should have said this in this interview, or oh, maybe I should have worn that in that interview. Well, this is like times 50,000, you know? And then you're like, okay, how about, you know, we've been watching reality shows for more than 2 decades at this point, you know? So we know that there's always like someone who's scamming, and we also know that there's always a game within a game, or maybe not, but just the possibility of that happening could drive you freaking insane.
I just kind of accepted that whenever I thought I had a grasp on things is when it was all going to change. You never knew what was going to happen. Like when that cloche came out in the dinner, I was like, I don't trust that.
Yes.
And Phil and Mai were both like, they told us we could enjoy this dinner. Stop it. And I was like,
but I was with you. I was like, I wouldn't eat that shit. And it looked so good. And they have been like famished, you know? Like, it was like, oh my God, like that food looked amazing. Did being gay in Fort Lauderdale help you with any challenges?
Being gay, period, helped me throughout the entire game because, like I said in the show, I'm very confident in holding my cards close to my chest. This is going to make me cry. I don't know why. But when you're so used to hiding yourself, going into a place where controlling how people see you is kind of easy.
Yeah. I didn't think of it that way. You're absolutely right.
And so it also, like, I went in and I was like, I'm gay, because it immediately kind of made everyone warm up to me. Mm-hmm. But also it took anything away from me being tall or, you know, masculine looking or masculine acting. It kind of took that away from that target off of my back, because just social biases, not necessarily a negative social bias or anything like homophobic or anything like that, but immediately people are like, oh, he's not the threat that I think he is. And so it really helped me actually make friends, but it also helped me not become a target.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, and, you know, every year we celebrate National Coming Out Day. Everybody, you know, celebrates that. And from this same bed, I constantly say, like, I love that people celebrate when they came out, but if you are LGBTQ+, we come out every freaking day, you know? We come out in every single situation, you know? And sometimes it puts us in harm, sometimes it helps, you know? So I have to say that I thought it was so freaking brave of you to just come out and do it and just say it. Like, I'm just gonna put this on the table. This is who I am, right? Whoever it offends, fine. Whoever's cool with it, let's get this game started.
Right, and it was not really so much of a. It didn't feel like I was coming out. It was more of just, you know, these are the things about me, and that's a major thing about me. So it was something that I felt was important to say, but it wasn't everything about me.
Yeah, and it's not. You know, if you're gonna, if, you know, when you explain, oh, Faye, tell me a little bit about yourself. Well, I love to get dressed up. I love dogs profoundly. I love my wife. You know, like, it wouldn't be the first 3 things that I would say about me. You know, it's part of who we are. It's part of our fiber. But understand that the second that you said I'm gay, all these little queer kids were like, oh my God, he's gay and he's on a reality show. I could be like him, you know?
The representation matters. Just at the end of the day, being someone that people can be like, this person has lived almost 40 years and is happy, and looking back at the pain that I went through and trying to find my way because no one was there to give me any kind of guidance, to be the person that can be someone can look at and be like, I can make it.
And you are. It's okay to cry. That is so fucking powerful.
It's kind of wild because I am not afraid to cry, but I haven't cried. I never cried before the show as much as I do after the show.
Yeah, but because then you really see the people that you've touched, Sam.
Hundreds of people have come up to me and messaged me and just said that these little things that I shared about myself and the pain that I shared about myself helped them kind of circumvent or just detour around little things. Like, I've overthought so much, and now I'm like, I didn't need to think that hard about that. I can just let that go because my life continues.
Yeah. And your life is continuing in such a beautiful way.
Such an amazing way.
Let's talk about the creepy freaking doll. Okay, was it as creepy on the challenge as it looked on the show?
Honestly, when we walked in that room, and she was probably, I don't even know, like 10 or 12 feet tall.
I mean, you're like 10 or 12 feet tall, so...
I was like, hey, let's be friends. And she was like, no.
No, but did you have like bad dreams afterwards about her or anything? I mean, because they really did a great copy of that doll, Sam. Like, that shit was spot on.
Like, we did not expect her to turn around fully. And when she did, everybody in that room, all 456 people were like, oh my gosh, this is really happening. And then when her head would spin, and then the little song that she sings, that's
the creepy song. That's that creepy song that got stuck in my head forever.
It is a creepy song, and it's way creepier than just red light, green light. Yeah. It's way creepier.
Yeah. And she's saying something in Chinese or something, Korean, and that even makes it even creepier.
It's something about the hibiscus flower blooms at I can't remember.
She could say that you are gonna live a long, prosperous life, and all I hear is you're gonna die, red light, green light, you're gonna die. One thing to the producers and the people who made that, I really think that there should have been a blood aspect to it. I missed the blood a little bit because I remember the original show. That was a lot of freaking blood.
Yeah, they kind of wanted to steer away from that. I know because there was a lot of they were putting us under a lot of stress as it was. So they kind of wanted to make the black kind of like, you know, Squid Ink and kind of ease us out of the traumatic part, which it already was. Because they were emulating the deaths by just taking our friends away. We weren't like saying goodbye and stuff like that. Like, even when we got to hug people,
that's it.
They were gone. We never got to talk to them again. We never talked really about them again. It was as if they had
died. And you had to go through that loss in a minute or an hour because you had to go on to the next challenge.
Yeah. It was a lot of emotion.
Yeah, and again, and I'm here telling you, like, yeah, the producer should have added blood. Like, yeah, trauma much, Faye? Like, what was I thinking, right? Like, that was just only for me because I'm a fucking moron. We had another local person on the show, Chad Van Horn.
Yes, Chad.
Right?
I adore Chad.
Hi, Chad.
Hi, Chad.
So he had the pact he had with the older lady, Mai, right? Who won,
Yeah.
okay? Like, have you asked her for any money, by the way?
No.
Like, none? Not even like a couple bucks?
No.
She won $4.56 million.
Yeah.
Okay? By winning and won with rock, paper, scissors. Isn't that how that went down?
Yeah.
Wow.
That was an epic battle. I think they played something like 33 games, which of course they had to truncate for television. But you'll notice the keys, they go down from like this to you being able to see the bottom of the glass cube that they're sitting in. They played a lot of games.
33 games.
Yeah.
33 games as in best of whatever.
No, 33 games until the person found the key that unlocked the safe.
Oh my God. So yeah, there's no way they could have put all that on the show. That would have been 33 hours of shit. Oh my God.
That would have been very boring. Just 33 games of rock, paper, scissors.
Are you good at rock, paper, scissors?
Yeah, what's so funny is we were...
Let's play real quick.
Oh, wait, are we going to go behind our backs?
Oh, okay. We could do it. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
Nicely done.
All right, one for me. Okay. Well, okay. 1, 2, 3.
Up.
Okay. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Damn it! Damn it! See, you would have won the $4.5 million though.
Well, we had to choose keys.
But still, you never know.
I
That would have been
Luna.
like, I would have chose Luna too.
Key to key.
You know, you were third to, at the end of it all, 450 something people, right?
56, yeah.
Did you think you'd make it that far, Sam?
I never let myself think about it because if you think about you're going to make it to the end, everything else has a lot more weight to it. But if you take everything piece by piece, chunk by chunk, it's just that little thing.
I love that. That's so wonderful. I'm in sobriety. I've been sober 9 years. And so one of the things that we say all the time is one day at a time,
right.
And when you're in early sobriety, it's even one moment at a time. Like you can't even think about dinner. I have to figure out how breakfast is going to go and how I'm going to do right now. So kind of the same thing. I'm not going to let myself go into, because we're always worried about shit that doesn't even happen.
Right.
98% of the time.
Right.
So you really had to get your game face on. Your meditation, as you said, was really important to you during that time.
Yeah.
And I could see that saving your butt, big time. Whew. How did you practice for the licking of the honeycomb?
I don't know that there was really any practice. My husband, before the show, he was like, you need to buy those cookies. And at that point, there were just so many things that I was overthinking that I needed to just stop. And I was like, I can't do it.
I can't add one more thing to this right now.
I can't overthink it right now. And when I went in, all I thought was, Doug is going to kill me. And then I got Star and I was like, oh no.
My God. Uh-huh.
But I went to dental hygiene school. I didn't graduate because it wasn't my bliss, but I knew that if I thought about food, I would get a different type of saliva.
Okay.
So I knew that if
you would produce more.
You produce more saliva, and you also produce a more digestive saliva versus just a lubrication saliva.
Okay. I didn't know you did research on saliva. Holy shit.
Well, I mean, school, thanks.
Oh, right? Thank you, dental school.
Thank you, dental school. So I knew that if I had that certain kind of saliva, it would help break down the sugars faster. And it was kind of disgusting, so luckily they didn't show it in the show, but we all had just mouthfuls of saliva, and we just spit it in the bottom of the tin. It was just this big it was so gross. And I didn't really lick it.
Okay.
I just
kind of wet it.
I wet it, and then I would scratch it, and then I held it up, and I was panicking, thinking I wasn't getting anywhere. And then somehow some of my saliva got into the grooves on the front. I think I may have spit in it again. And at that point, it started eating through the cookie from the top, and then, my needle just went through, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I'm done." And you can see in the show,
you kind of look
my
surprised,
temple vein is bulging out. Also, my best friend Danny had just been eliminated. It's like me to Luna, and I just watched her be eliminated, and I was like, I don't.
And she was eliminated like just one little thing cracked. It wasn't even she was so on it and focused. And then when she was about to finish, the little corner cracked and she lost.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh my God.
It was rough. It was rough in there because it seemed like also a lot of people were picking up their cookie to do it. And I was like, I need to keep it in the tin. I need to keep it stable. I'm an artist, so I knew I had a stable hand to be able to modulate the pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a little bit in my head of, I can do this, but it was also Star, so I wasn't cocky.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the people in Star passed just for that reason. It was an umbrella, so we weren't overwhelmed, and it wasn't Triangle, so we weren't cocky and just letting it
go. Yeah, just thinking it'd be easy.
Because a lot of people in Triangle just tried to break it.
Yeah, but a lot of people fucked it up too by just trying to break it up.
I think more people made it through Star than made it through Triangle.
Yeah.
And that's just...
But that's also because they were very cocky, like you said, you know?
That's exactly it. So,
well, let me tell you, as a lesbian, right, we could have taught you how to lick that honeycomb real quick.
I should have come to you.
You should have. Listen, if the challenge has like a reboot, like they do All Stars in the future, and you know they're going to call your ass to be on it, I'm giving you a freaking lesson on it. And you're going to be like,
I'll call
done.
I'll
What
call
do you want? Umbrella. What do you want? I'll take umbrella. No problem. I got this. So you and your incredible husband, Doug, have two pups, right?
Yeah.
Right?
2 rescue dogs.
And tell us about them.
We rescued them right after the start of pandemic. Actually, April Fool's Day, we adopted 2 incredible little babies. What's so funny is my dog is a lot like my husband, and his dog is a lot like me.
So his dog is 6 feet tall?
His dog is basically 6 feet tall. Legs for days, and an attitude, and always needs to be touched. So...
And that's how you are?
And that's how I am. And I love my head rubbed. I love my back rubbed. My love language is definitely physical touch. And Moo is just lay on the ground, and maybe I'll come up, but only if I'm jealous of Duke getting all the attention. Not that Doug is ever jealous, but she has the more calm and loving aspect of the 2, and then Duke is a little more hyper and high maintenance.
And you didn't have dogs before then, or you had a couple too, right?
I've had dogs in the past, but when we got together, neither of us had a dog, so it was kind of nice because it wasn't one person's dog.
Yes, it wasn't his dog coming into the relationship or your dog.
Right.
How long have you been with Doug now? Because you guys are married, right?
We got married in October of 2022.
Aye, but you're still newlyweds.
Yeah, so we got married just before the show filmed. And then after the show filmed, we actually went on our honeymoon because I got to stay a little bit longer. So he flew over and...
Oh, I love that. And that was in LA. Was it in LA?
In London.
They filmed it in London.
Yeah.
Oh my God, how interesting. But that's a great little honeymoon to be. I love London.
Oh,
I can't deal with their weather, but they've got like great people, and their food, and their culture is just incredible.
The city is absolutely wonderful.
So when Doug went over to London to meet you, when you were done, were you able to tell him like, I'm third, or I didn't win? Or
well, I had to sign an NDA that was like that, and so did he. So before I ever even got my phone back, they called him. He was actually getting on a flight to LA, and they were like, you have to sign this NDA before Sam can have his phone back. And he's like, okay, send it to me. So he sat in the airport while his plane is boarding, signing this NDA so I could get my phone back. And then I was
that's love.
Yeah.
See, that would have been my wife. Like, I ain't giving her her phone.
She'll only cause trouble.
Right, exactly. She'll only cause trouble. Let me give her her phone. She would have done something like that.
And they FedEx it to me.
You know? And so then, but then you were able to tell him everything,
I was able to tell him everything because he signed the same NDA I did. Yeah.
Did you cry when you saw him?
Oh, yeah.
Like, because it's just like such a... right? Like,
yeah,
I just got through that. I just went through that, and you're here. Like,
he's my safe space.
Yes.
He's the person that makes me feel, again, he makes me feel worth it. He makes me feel loved and secure and able to do anything. So that's why I was able to go on the show. And
can we
share.
double date? Can we double date, please?
Please.
Oh my God, I love this so much. Listen, our person is just supposed to make us safe. That's it.
Yeah.
Like, and it's hard to explain that, right? The world is crazy. It's an election year. I'm so worried about Trump. I can't even tell you, Sam.
Oh, same.
Okay. And I was that girl that didn't give a shit about politics before.
Yeah.
We got marriage equality, and I was like, woohoo, we done, you know? And I was a damn fool for it. And I had to quickly get educated during the Trump years, you know? And I am freakily afraid that I won't be married someday to this woman that took me 40 years to find.
Yeah, it feels like we have started to build a foundation, and the flood is coming any day to just wash everything out from under us. And
you're so poignant. I'm like, it sucks. We're fucked. He's like, the waters are rising. You know?
it's just it feels rough. It feels rough to be able to have something that you are so happy in, but know that there's people ready to just come and bulldoze you.
Yeah. Yeah.
For no reason.
Or there's people that just don't want us to breathe, Sam. Like people that don't know you, don't know Doug, don't know your adorable pets, don't know me, you know, and just automatically don't want us to exist.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't think it's anybody's business who's in bed with me. And I also don't think that men should be making decisions as to what I should do with my reproductive organs. And this is the world we live in right now.
Yeah. It's based in people's unhappiness, I believe. People are so unhappy and they don't want other people to be able to make choices that make them happy because they're making choices that make themselves unhappy.
You know, we both heard this a million times. Hurt people hurt people.
Exactly.
And that's what it is, you know. Yeah. Sam, you're super passionate about advocating for our community, you know. How has being on Squid Game elevated your platform to be able to reach more queer gay boys out there?
Being able to tell my story of coming out and losing my family has surprisingly, I don't know why I'm surprised, but has touched so many people that have parallel stories and given them, I don't want to say hope, but given them fellowship. Mm-hmm. And it's given me an example of just talking about our pain.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even though we're afraid it's going to hurt us more, it doesn't. It helps other people.
Yeah.
And releasing that poison that we keep bottled up inside, that resentment that it can boil over into, just really helps a lot more people than you would think. And it's not in vitriol. It's not in hate. This is just what happened to me.
Yeah.
And it's really great to find people that have that too and have grown into fabulous people.
Fabulous people.
Yeah.
You know, you're speaking out for the voiceless, for the people that can't.
Right. And I'm what I like to call a palatable queer, because I'm masculine acting, I'm masculine presenting, I'm a cisgendered white man. And so I'm the person that they will listen to, and I will be that person that will speak until I can get them to listen to the other people.
I love that. I love that.
Not that they need my help.
No,
but
no. And
the people on the other side need my help.
No, completely. You know, I'm really involved with our trans community. You know, our trans community is the most attacked. You know, the most vilified. Most people didn't even know what trans was a couple of years ago, and now it's all over the news, coming out of mouths that it shouldn't. You know. Trans Day of Visibility is coming up, and I'm blessed that I get to help an organization called Trans Social do their events. And, I'm constantly thinking that, like, if I'm at the table, if I'm allowed at the table because I'm light skinned, then I'm going to make sure that my trans community is going to get a seat at the table as well, you know? Right. But like you said, sometimes they'll listen to you before they listen to the next person behind you. And that just speaks such volumes on your integrity, your intention, you're passionate. You know, you're a fucking good ass person.
Thank you.
Just saying, in case nobody told you that. So you've been really open about your mental health, anxiety. There's such a stigma behind getting help.
Right.
We're talking about it openly. We talked about it before the show. A lot of things get us anxious. A lot of people need treatment. A lot of people should get treatment, and there's so many different kinds of help. Mm-hmm. Just talking about it is a way for you to help.
Absolutely. It helps you, it helps your partner, it helps any relationship that you have if you're able to share things that make you vulnerable and ways in which you're weak. If the person loves you, they will want you to be stronger. They will want you to feel more secure. So if you tell someone something and they say, get over it or whatever, or it's not what you need, you either need to be more clear or that person's just not for your life.
Yeah.
And they have their own pain and their own strength that they need to grow in. But people that you surround yourself with should be people that build you up. And I am so lucky. I have a chosen family that includes biological members of my family now.
I love that.
But it's
Do you still
just,
not talk to your parents?
my father died when I was 17, but my mom, I don't speak to her. I don't know if she's tried to reach out to me, but like I've said before, there's only so many times you grab a hot pop before you're like, yeah, I'm going to just wait until.
Yeah, I still have the scars from the last welts you left me.
Yeah, so I'm reserved in that respect.
No, and you're protecting yourself, Sam.
Right,
There's
and the
nothing wrong
people
with
I
that.
love.
And the people you love, you know?
Right.
You know, I love the word chosen family, and I hate the word chosen family, right? Because, I mean, I've got people in my chosen family crew that I would die for, Sam.
Yeah.
You know, that if they needed a kidney, I'd give it to them,
Absolutely,
you know, wholeheartedly, you know, just like, and there's some chosen people that I love more than people I share blood with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just, you know, core people it's so important, like Sam said, you know, for a lot of years, I just was taking on people. Come on, let's be friends. The more friends, the better, you know, and you end up having these toxic bloodsuckers that like take all your energy and take all your insight and take all your love and then leave. And then you're left like, why am I so exhausted? What just happened?
Right.
You know, and you might be going through a tough time yourself, or you might be about to spiral, and you need the people who elevate you, not the people who bring you down.
Right. And I mean, and those people have value as well, but they have a different type of help. They need a different type of help than you can give them. And you need to be able to realize in yourself that, yes, they need help, but you don't always need to be the person that helps.
Yeah.
Because you need help too.
Yes. Yeah.
And you need to think of yourself. You need to take care of yourself first and then take care of other people.
Like in AA, they tell us, you know, you got to put the mask on, right? You got to put on the mask on yourself before you go and help somebody else, like on an airplane.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, same thing.
Yeah.
So what's next for you, Sam? Like, what's next? Are you doing another reality show? Like, what show will you be on next? Like, has this like bubbled up something inside you that now you want to go on Survivor, or you want to go, I don't know, like on Big Brother, or you want to go on something else? Like, was this the first reality show you did?
It is the first reality show I've ever applied for. First reality show.
And you got it just like that.
I don't know if it was just like that.
Well, they saw your freaking face, and it was like, and just like that, we want him,
like
you know. But so now, like, what? I mean, you're an artist also. Like, what do you want to do now?
I've been on this kind of cross country tour where I've been in a different city every night. So now I have a little bit of a quiet time where I can kind of focus on the organizations I want to work with. I would really love to work with, obviously, the pets. I like pets more than I like people. And the queer community. I feel like we need allies within as well as without.
Yeah.
And we need strong people that can take the waves versus be bowled over by them. And I feel like because of my point that I'm in with my chosen family and my husband, I feel like I can give people a little more because I've been through so much and I kind of feel like I'm on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to help as much as I can. And I really would love to be on another reality show. It's hard now being on the biggest one ever to look at other reality shows and be like, oh yeah, I'd like to be on that one. So for me, it's kind of, I've watched Big Brother for such a long time. I would love to be on Big Brother, but Traitors, I think is I love
my God,
Traitors
that's
so
awesome.
much. I love Traitors.
What's the premise of Traitors?
Have you ever played the game Mafia? Like, it's like a party game where you kind of sit in a circle and everybody puts their head down, and then a certain number of people are chosen to be Mafia, and then they kill or eliminate someone from the circle while everybody's heads are down, and then everybody's heads are up, and they have to find out who Mafia is.
Okay.
Who the people are that
Okay.
ousted them. So it's very much like that.
Okay. It sounds like a much cooler Clue.
It's so good. Yeah. It's like Clue in a Scottish castle with Alan Cummings, which, I mean, that's just
you got to get on that show.
That's just a dream.
You have to get on that show.
Yeah. Netflix also has another show I'd love to be on called The Trust, which is everybody can either split the pot or they can eliminate people to make their split even more. So it's a very much a social.
I think I started watching that, and then they were like, a game inside a game kind of deal.
Yes,
But that shit would really is a head twister right there on that one.
Yeah.
Something else that you're passionate about, and if it's okay for us to talk about, is just using your platform to help others with like suicide prevention and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, you've lost someone dear to you.
I've lost several people very close to me to suicide, so it's hard to watch, especially as someone that's come out on the other side of the pain and someone who has in the past attempted self-harm. When I was very young, I thought there was no way out. Everyone was always going to hate me. I was, as the religion put it, an abomination. And so in the era before internet,
I'm going to give you my rope so you can wash your tears off. That's what I do.
in the era before the internet, I had no...
You can take off your shirt if you want.
Oh, yeah, here, I'll take it off to dry my tears. It seems like an inappropriate time to do it. But in an era before representation where what we saw was jokes made at our expense, it felt very much like I had nowhere to go. I had no one that was going to love me if I was my true, authentic self. Because at a certain point, I just had to accept that this is who I was, because there was no way I was going to force. I tried making deals with God. I tried everything I could to not be who I was. And so to see the level of pain and just hopelessness, and that's really what it feels like, is hopelessness.
The darkness.
The darkness just pulling you in and pulling you in. And
it's like quicksand.
Yeah.
And it feels like there's no, this world is better without me.
Right. You're just trying to keep your head above whatever, and you can't fight your way out. And to be on the other side and see, oh, that was of my own making. It's like waking up from a nightmare and you're tangled in your own sheets. And you're like, oh, like, I can handle this. But that's viewing it from my side, from this side. When I was in it, it was hopeless.
Yeah, and you couldn't see it from the other side.
So being able to be the person that's like, not an example, or I hate saying I'm an example, but being someone that can just voice and say, I can feel the pain that you're in, and I can't be saying that I know what you're going through or what anybody's going through, but I went through an immeasurable amount of pain, it felt like to me. So I can be able to be there and say, just hold on to what you have, the people you love, and talk to them. When you are feeling your most hopeless and you think that no one cares, there are people that care.
There are.
Even if you don't know them, like, I care. I care that you're in the world. And, like, to lose these people that are going through so much to find their power is devastating.
Yeah. I'm so glad that you made it through that.
I am too. I'm really glad. Like,
and I know that you're limiting. You're like, oh, I'm not a role model, or I'm not. Stop saying those things. You know. You just are. You know, you're living out loud.
Yeah.
Okay. And so many people don't get to. You know, the suicide rates, especially in LGBTQ, have gone up. So much recently. And the Trevor Project does a scale every year, and it's scary, when it talks to LGBTQ plus kids and it asks them how many have wanted to end their life, and more than half have, thought of or tried to,
Yeah, and people think that we have enough, or why do we still have pride, or why are we railing about representation? And it's because people are still helpless, and people are making people feel helpless. And that's why I like to say it's like we're in a fog, because we don't know where we're going. We have no idea. Now, it doesn't matter who you are or how you were raised or whatever. You don't know where you're going. And all we can do is be on the other side of that fog, or in the fog even, and farther along than someone else, and just yelling to help them know that there's somewhere to go, and that they're not going to fall off a cliff.
Yeah. And that it is possible.
It's possible.
You know, because at that moment when the quicksand is up here, you're like, oh, that's it. I'm letting go. That's it. It doesn't matter. I'm never going to get over this.
Right.
You can get over this.
You can get Please.
There are so many organizations from Pride Lines in Miami to SunServe up here in Fort Lauderdale and everywhere in between. There is help. Don't think that because you have no insurance, none of that, that's bullshit. There is help. Just seek it out. You should not sit with it by yourself. There's others who have been through it. You know, for me in AA, I can't have a normie tell me, oh, do you need a meeting? Or, oh, you're a little off. You know, only someone that has been in my shoes can tell me like this, because you know exactly what that darkness feels like, what that quicksand feels like, what that point of no return feels like, you know, of meeting somebody else and seeing them in their same pain. That kismet, that connection, there's no way to explain that to somebody that has not been through it.
No. And you're never a burden. It doesn't matter if the person doesn't know you, if they have a passion, which everybody in those organizations has a passion for helping people find their way, you're never a burden. You will be welcomed with open arms, and people will try their hardest to help you help yourself.
I love it. Sam, thank you so much for being in bed with me today. You're such an exceptional human. Like, I can't even with this. Please make sure that you follow him on all social media. Paul Bunyan.
Paul Bunyan.
When I was following you, I was like, Paul Bunyan. I'm like, is this him? It's Paul Bunyan underscore or something,
Underscore
right?
ish.
Ish. Because
I'm not Paul Bunyan. I'm just ish. Paul Bunyan-ish.
So follow him, okay? Paul Bunyan-ish, okay? AKA Sam Lantz on all social media outlets.
Social media.
And who knows where he pop-ups next, okay? But he's going to pop up somewhere representing all of us. So how fantastic is that? Boop, boop, boop. I'm FayWhat, and we will be right back. Finally this morning, I want to get our week started by telling you some things that are really important to me. We call it Faye, what's on my mind? It's April Fool's Day. Each year, the first day of April brings pranks, laughter, and freaking trust issues. Let's be real, right? So some people can't wait for this date, while others simply hope to avoid becoming the butt of the joke, you know? Even your closest friends and family fall under suspicion when they not so innocently offer you a snack or invite you to sit down on April Fool's Day. I don't trust you today. As hard as you try to dodge your loved one's tricks, you may still find yourself taken. So what should you do? Well, be ready with a prank of your own. So here you are with a handful of April Fool's do's and don'ts for April Fool's Day, all right? Do. Put a rubber spider under someone's pillow. That shit is funny, especially if they're deathly afraid of insects like my wife is. Do it. Whoopee cushions. Man, you know what to do with them. They funny. Farts are funny. Put a whoopee cushion on someone's chair and just get ready to laugh. Paint a bar of soap with clear nail polish so that it doesn't lather. That shit is funny. Print photos of Danny DeVito or your favorite meme and hide them throughout your apartment for your roommates to find. That's funny. I mean, you might be killing a tree or two, but it's funny. Put googly eyes on literally everything and everything. They sell them at the dollar store. You could put them everywhere and they make anything fun. All right? That's fun. It's safe. And it's April Fool's Day, right? You get to celebrate it in your way. Now, here's the shit to don't do. All right? Don't come out to friends and family as a joke. It's stupid. That shit ain't funny. And it's not cool at all. All right? Oh, I'm coming out as gay today. And then you get all this support and then you might get some backlash and then you say April Fools. Fuck you. Okay? Please don't do that. That's just ridiculous. Something else to not do? Propose to someone as a joke. Okay? On April Fool's Day. Don't play with people's emotions. You're an idiot if you do stuff like that, you know? Or break up with someone. Okay? Or ask someone on a date as a joke and then say, oh, no, I was joking. I don't want to go out with your ass. That's not cool. Don't do that. Faking a death, in your family, who finds that shit funny? Don't do that. Fake a serious injury. You put something on Facebook that you just had in a car accident and you need some kind of transplant or something. That shit's not funny, all right? So there you go. Enjoy your April Fool's Day safely and fun and harmless. And if you scare me with a snake or a rat, I may fuck you up. I'm just saying. Because I'm also a little afraid of that. I'm just saying. Happy April Fool's Day. So that's it. That's the FayWhat show. I hope that you had fun. Thank you so much to Jamal L. Starks for joining me in bed, and the incredible Sam Lantz for a great interview. He is just amazing, isn't he? You know, I'm really passionate about trying to connect the L and the G in our LGBTQ plus community. It's often hard for us girls, but if we believe that we are one strong community, then we must support all the letters of our LGBT and Q plus. We open every show with a nod to Mary Tyler Moore and That Girl's Marlo Thomas. This show is dedicated to a strong LGBTQ plus community. I just encourage you to be a little bit kinder, a little bit funnier, and embrace our tremendous diversity because it really is what makes us so damn strong. Until then, make sure you follow me on all social media outlets. I'm on Facebook, IG, TikTok, YouTube. Follow FayWhat. And since you're always on the go, you can listen to The FayWhat Show wherever you listen to your podcast app. Simply search The FayWhat Show. Until next Monday World at 9 a.m. live or anytime on demand. I'm FayWhat, and I am #thatgirl. I wish you a week full of sunshine and rainbows. Stay gay.
Rainbows, gay boys, #thatgirl. Sunbeams, drag queens, L-word. Is that girl the girl of all our dreams? She's everything that every girl should be. Aqua, South Beach, #thatgirl. Pride-filled, tea-dance, Wilton. Is that girl Latina, but she's universal too. If you find a girl to love, only one girl to love, then she'll be that girl too. That girl.
So, did you enjoy the show? I know you did. So make sure to click subscribe so you won't miss any of the events, news, or interviews right here on the FayWhat Show. Ring the bell at the bottom of the screen, right there, so you'll be alerted every time we're live. You can also click on the Happening Out Television Network logo so you can see all of the shows on the most diverse LGBTQ plus media network. Find out just what we're doing to bring the L and the G together right here on the FayWhat Show. Get the week started with me.